Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. Today's Tuesday, August 29th. This is the live show we do every morning at 10:30 Eastern Time, where I give my official picks. Been doing very, very well since the All-Star break. Actually, since about a week before the All-Star break, since I started to wear that Yankees shirt for good luck. I've been killing in baseball. Yesterday was another winning day. Small winning day, 4-3 yesterday, up 1 unit. Did well, except I was 4-1, except I doubled up on Miami as a huge underdog, and of course had to take 2 losses on that one, so I wound up 4-3, but that's plus 1 unit. So last week was a winning week, starting off this week as with a winning day. What's up, Loose Skunt? Comment Poon Hound Peter, Jansen Bonzone. Good morning, Peter and Matty Ice. Actually, Matty Ice is not here. He's on vacation, so I'm going solo. Armin Hinjosa says, what's up? All right, guys. Armin Hinjosa, Jansen Bonzone, Loose Skunt. I'm telling you, man, I'm feeling pretty good. Since the All-Star break, I'm up about 16 or 17 units, and since a week before the All-Star break, so I started wearing that Yankees jersey, I'm up literally like 25 or 26 units, and I'm feeling okay. And today, on today's card, I might have a lot of picks. The only problem is that there's rain in the forecast for a lot of games. A lot of these games might get rained out, which is okay, or worse, a rain delay where the starting pitcher pitches for like, an inning or two, and then there's a huge rain delay, and then the bullpens come in, and then there's all sorts of unexpected stuff that happens that can throw a massive monkey wrench into your bet. But having said that, there are a lot of bets that I'm liking today. I might wind up having like 15 or 16 picks today because although 4 games didn't have overnight lines, so I might wind up tweeting out a couple after this show is over when I have a chance to look into them more. There was a pitching change in the Chris Sale game, so there's a lot of crazy stuff going last night. All right, let's see. Jensen Bonzone says, fuck Urena last night. Yeah, listen, it happens, and that's how baseball – oh, hey. Sure. Zach Jones sitting in today. Zach Jones, did you know that like since the All-Star break, I'm up about 16 or 18 units, and since a week before the All-Star break, since I started wearing that Yankees shirt for good luck, I'm up like 26 units.
Where's the shirt?
I don't know, but I don't need it now. It's like I'm cruising. I'm cruising now.
I'm aware, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, really, absolutely killing it. And as I was saying tonight, I'm going to have, there's like 15 or 16 picks that I'm liking today. The only issue is that there's rain in the forecast for a lot of these games. So some of them might get rained out. And as I was saying, the worst thing in baseball is when like there's a rain delay and then the starting pitcher pitches for 1 inning, and then all of a sudden they resume the game. And then you have, all sorts of relief pitchers coming in that you weren't planning for. And then all of a sudden you have a bunch of bets that are looking very nervous. But I am definitely feeling good about a bunch of bets on the card tonight. I might go big tonight. I bet all of them on the overnight line. We shall see. All right, so let's see. Yes, McGogster says over Baltimore, Seattle was money. Yes, and there you go. Line movements. I've been saying we've seen this all year, especially with totals in baseball. Line movements don't mean shit. Line movements don't mean shit. Zach Jones yesterday. I really like the over in the Baltimore Seattle game. It opened at 11. And then when I was sitting here doing the show, it had gone down a full run down to 10. And I was like, what the hell's up with that line movement? But I didn't care. I gave the over 2 ways, and the game was over by like the 4th inning. So whoever bet that line down from 11 to 10, were they sharp money, was whoever the hell it was dead wrong. And once again, these line movements in MLB totals really don't mean shit. They really don't. All right, so let's get to some early comments, and then we'll get to this massive slate of games in MLB, which I'm liking. I'm also liking one CFL play that I looked at, and that is Montreal. That goes on Thursday. That I think is one of my favorite plays of the CFL week. Might be my CFL play of the week. I also like the under in that one. I took the under 51 a little bit, and I also took Hamilton +5 on Monday. But my favorite play of the week is on Thursday, Montreal +1 over Ottawa. So there's a CFL play for you. There is a WNBA game tonight, which I have no opinion on. And I have no bet on that one. But again, a lot of bets in baseball. We'll get to that in a second. Let's just get to some quick early comments before we jump into this massive card, just to see. Yeah, Jansen Bonzone, Bundy on a roll, taking the Orioles ? And the thing about Bundy is that, of course, Bundy had great potential, great stuff. He kind of wore down, and they intentionally started to limit his pitch counts and his innings. and they've given him extra rest in between starts, and that has really, really helped him out. His strikeouts are up. So yes, I am a believer in Bundy going forward. It was a smart move by the Orioles to stop putting him out there every 5 days and to give him extended rest between each start. And I think he's going to have another good start tonight. We'll get to that game in a second. That is one game that I did have a couple of bets on the overnight. Okay, let's see. Other early comments just to make sure. Yeah, fuck Urena last night. Yes, that was terrible. Yes, Brendan Cummings killed it on that Phillies pick, Pete. I think Brendan Cummings someone recommended the Phillies yesterday. That was the way I was leaning. It was just a little bit high for me in the -150s, but it was definitely the way I was leaning. And when I saw the comment, I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take Phillies -1. It was a big bounce back spot for Nola, and that was a great call. If that was you, Brendan Cummings, I don't remember exactly who was the commenter who pushed me over the top on that one. I was liking that one from the beginning, and then again, it's just like one of those classic MLB plays where you know you're liking it, but then you see a line in the -150s or higher, and you're like, man, do I really want to lay that much lumber on this pick that I like? And then sometimes you do want to lay it, and yet last night, of course, that was a great pick. All right, so thanks, Brendan Cummings, for that tip. All right, okay. Let's get into it. Everyone get into it. Yes, McGogster. How did the Rockies lose last night? Zimmerman actually pulled through, laughing my ass off. And you remember, McGogster, I said that, it would be tempting to take the Rockies' first 5 innings team total over, but I didn't take it. And why? I said exactly what happened, right? We've seen this time and time again where a starting pitcher is getting crushed, start in, start out, and then has a start at Coors, and it looks like he's just going to have one of the all-time epic worst starts in baseball ever, actually winds up having a decent start. We saw that this year with Jared Weaver. We saw it last year with Alfredo Simon. And once again, last night, we saw it with Zimmerman. I'm telling you, man, wacky things happen at Coors. And we saw that again. I've learned that about Coors, and I laid the hell off of fading Zimmerman last night. I talked about that in yesterday's show, and look what happened. Be very, very careful about that when you have a pitcher that you think is just going to be an obvious auto fade, a guy due for an absolute shelling in Coors. A lot of times it doesn't happen. Jesus Christ, my mustache. I've got glue in my mustache. These things, they don't make fucking cheap mustache glue. I got to start buying the expensive stuff. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it. The MLB card today. A lot of bets I'm liking. First off, let's start off with Atlanta Philly. Definitely, I'm liking the under on that one. Leiter is a guy who had a great start in his last start, does have the capability of having a strong start. And R.A. Dickey, of course, has become a very, very reliable starter. Start in and start out. Both of these lineups can be held down. Of course, yesterday went solidly under, and I think we're more likely than not to see roughly the same today. I bet that one on the overnight. I got 9 at plus money. It's now definitely taken a jump down. It's a 9 minus the best line I would say I've seen here is minus 121 at Pinnacle. Intertop says 125. A few other places have 125. So we'll start off with the first pick right there, Atlanta Philly under 9 minus 121. The next game on the card is the Miami and Washington game. That's an interesting one. We didn't know who the starter was. It is going to be Vance Worley, and I'm going to look into that in a second after this show is over, and I might tweet out a pick on that one if I like anything in it, and it's entirely possible that I will. Next game, Seattle-Baltimore with Dylan Bundy starting. Yes, I like the under in this one, and I definitely am liking Baltimore a bit. Bundy, again, I'm expecting a decent start from him. The way Baltimore has been handling him is the right thing to do, and it's definitely been paying dividends, paying results. And on the other side, Erasmo Ramirez has been decent. He's been given, 6 sort of workman-like innings, 5 or 6 workman-like innings every start out. That's the way he's been his whole career. Nothing spectacular, far from spectacular, but definitely reliable and solid. And with a high total like this, I am willing to take the under. Again, the game might be rained out because there is rain in the forecast, but I'm definitely going to throw on the under here, under 9.5. This is another one that I bet. I actually got 10. I actually got 10 on the opening line. I'm beating that one. But as we saw yesterday, beating these opening lines in baseball totals means very little, if not absolutely nothing. If not, means that you're on the wrong side. But happy to have gotten an extra half run. And right now at the Greek, there's under 9.5 minus 110. line shopping here at SBRodds.com. Looking around, Pinnacle has 114, Intertops has 115, a bunch of places have 120, but Bookmaker and the Greek have minus 110 at under 9.5. So I'll take that one. And I will also take Baltimore on the -1 line because I'm more of a believer in Bundy here than I am in Ramirez. And it's a modest home line for Baltimore. Baltimore, of course, has a great ROI at home in general on the year, one of the top 3 teams in terms of ROI. They got the win yesterday, and I think more likely than not, they're a good play here. It will be at plus money for -1. So Baltimore -1 is my third pick of the day. The money line part will be -131 at a lot of places, and the run line part of that will be plus 148 at Pinnacle. 5 Dimes has plus 150. I should allow myself to start using 5 Dimes lines because that's a real book, isn't it? That's a
yeah.
It's just that it's a rec book. Who's this on the point?
I was saying also you need Intertops.
I'm gonna Intertops. Intertops has plus on that one has where is it? Has plus 145, which is what most of the market has. But 5 Dimes has one offline there. So all right, I'll give that one 5 Dimes. -1.5 plus 150. I'll give a 5 Dimes line. -1.5 plus 150, and the money line part -131. So that's nice plus money there for Baltimore -1. Next game, I'm loving this. Zach Jones. This is not how most of these shows go. Most of these shows, I have like a few picks that I'm kind of liking but too scared to give, and then a whole bunch of other picks that I'm just going to give as leans that I'm way too scared to give. Today's totally different. I'm liking all this shit. I was sitting there last night. I was like, ooh, boy.
Why did you cash in big this weekend?
Well, what?
Did you cash in big last weekend? You got some money to spend.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Not bad. Look, last week I'm slow and steady. Last week I was only up 2 units, which is still fine. Still fine.
You were one of those guys dropping $1 million on Mayweather, huh? That's what it is.
No, actually, that fight, I really, it was interesting because Andreas Hale nailed that one. He's called he said a great bet was Mayweather inside the distance at -153, and he said it was going to come late in like the 8th round or later, and he said it was all, and he even said it was going to come via TKO and not by just like a flattened knockout. He said that there's going to be a stoppage that Mayweather was going to wear him down. Andreas Hale nailed the hell out of that one.
I think all of SBR nailed it.
Did they?
Yeah, except I was only under 8.5.
Oh, okay.
I missed that by a round. But yeah, I had the TKO as well. So
no, very impressed by all the expert. That was one fight I was like, I'm just staying way the hell off of this one. But yeah, congratulations to Andreas Hale and all of SBR who nailed the hell out of that fight. And there was money to be made. Money to be made in that one. All right, Cleveland and the Yankees, another game that I'm liking. I'm liking this one a lot. First of all, definitely liking the under here. Also, this is another game that might get rained out. I hope it doesn't. I jumped on the under on this one. I got 9.5. It's now down to 9 everywhere. So there's no 9.5s anywhere, which is a little bit annoying, but I'll take the under 9. Under 9 -110 at lots of places. The Greek, Intertops, 5 Dimes, Pinnacle. Under 9 -110 in the Yankees and Cleveland game. I got 9.5. And then as far as the side is concerned, I'm a big believer in Trevor Bauer. Regular viewers of this show know that I've been on the Bauer train I was on this train relatively soon after he made the adjustment. He got his control under control a little bit. He added a knuckle curve, which was very effective, and he's suddenly gotten into a nice groove. Jaime Garcia on the other side for the Yankees, I'm not a big fan of. He has struggled. I think he's going to struggle a little bit less here against Cleveland, who has a couple guys out, but I think he'll be okay, and I'm definitely liking Bauer. So to start out with, I'll take Cleveland on the first 5 innings. Let me just check what that line would be.
Yeah, Bauer's got, what, a 2.45 ERA in his last 5 starts?
Yes.
4-0 so far in August?
He turned a corner in the middle of the season, and the key is at what point did you jump on that train? And I was on that train immediately because there was he changed his arsenal of pitches, and it started to pay off dividends quickly. And after the first start that he did that, I looked at the results. I was like, I'm a believer in him, and I actually said that in this show. And I mentioned he got a knuckle curve, which is a great pitch. And as soon as that happened, I said I'm a believer in Trevor Bauer. And start in and start out, he has been good since he made that adjustment.
Well, even the Indians, just against road teams or on the road against winning teams,
yes.
They're 8-0 straight up against the run line in the last 8 games. I mean,
yes,
this team shows up.
Cleveland in general has been inexplicably horrific at home, especially as a favorite. But on the road, they've been great. And in general, they've been underachieving a little bit because they have a great lineup, great starting pitching, and a great bullpen. So, I mean, that's all there is in baseball. I guess for manager and fans, but like, Cleveland has it all, but they haven't been, a profitable team overall, but it's been at home where they've been a great bet. And in this show, of course, we've been fading them at home in many, many spots as a big favorite, but on the road is where you want to bet them. And again, as you said, against good teams, especially when you're not paying a big price, which is exactly what you're getting here. So I love Cleveland. I think I like them at +1 and also on the first 5 innings. Let me just quickly check what the first 5 innings line would here. Bear with me for a second. I got all my tabs open here. Cleveland with Bauer. Yeah, the plus a half run would be a -145 at UWager and 5 dimes. And the money line would be -105 at BetOnline or sportsbetting.ag. So what do I want to do here? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take I'll take the money line. I'll take the money line at -105. Cleveland on the first 5 innings money line -105. It's tempting to take the plus a half run line because I'm expecting low volatility in this game because I'm liking the under. So it's tempting to take Cleveland plus a half, but I guess I will just take them on the money. All right, I'll just take them on the money line, -105 on the first half. And I'm also going to take them +1 here. +1 here.
+1, okay.
What?
Okay.
Yes, +1. Low volatility. The way buying and selling runs works is you're basically handicapping volatility. When you're buying runs, you are betting into high volatility. Sorry, you're betting into low volatility. So you're taking bigger favorite lines, but you're less likely to lose. And when you're selling runs, you're betting into high volatility. So you're saying if this team wins, they're more likely to win by 2 or 3. So it's all about volatility, and I'm expecting low volatility for this game. So I'm liking Cleveland +1 here. And let me just quickly find the odds here. Yeah, I'll wind up taking about -150, but that's okay. So the money line part of this will be -101. That's the line at Pinnacle. And the +1.5 line will be +200 at Intertops, baby. +1.5 -200 at Intertops. And Pinnacle also has that one. But +1.5 -200 at Intertops, sponsor of the show, friend of the show. And the money line is -101. So I'm on Cleveland 2 ways, and I'm also on the under. And I may even throw on the Yankees first 5 innings team total under. I'm telling you, Maddie. I'm telling you.
I like that play.
I'm telling you, Zachy Ice. I'm liking a lot of these games here. I could easily see myself giving like 18 picks and 12 of the picks getting rained out. But that's okay. I'm going to give them. I'm going to give them anyway. And damn, look at that. You know what? I will give it. Yankees first 5 innings. Team total under 2 +119. I'll throw that one on there as well. Yankees first 5 innings. Team total under 2 +119.
Well, speaking of games getting rained out, what about the Colorado game? Because I mean, they're calling for rain, but at least they can close the roof.
The Colorado?
Yeah.
No, Colorado doesn't have a roof. Are you talking about Houston or?
Which one was it?
The.
Anyway, I spoke, but no, we did have someone asking about the Colorado game in the chat a little while ago.
Yeah, the Colorado game. No, the Houston game is the one that is, of course, being played at Tropicana. The Houston game was moved to Tropicana, and that's also a game, obviously, that didn't have an overnight line. I'm leaning under. The starting pitchers are Fiers, of course, and Perez, and I'm definitely leaning under on that one. Perez is a guy who, is questionable, but tends to outpitch his peripherals. He always gives you a heart attack when he starts, but still in this spot, I think he's likely to have an okay start. And Fiers had a good start in his last start after struggling for a few starts in a row. So I'm willing to bet that he's regained his form a little bit because there was no overnight line here, and we didn't know where the game was going to be. What is this? Right, okay, because there's no overnight line. Sorry, I might get distracted because there's a meeting next door.
Yeah.
Can we join the meeting and make the show fun?
Take the camera in there.
All right. So I'm probably going to be on the under in that one. Although I didn't do my deep research last night because there was no overnight line for it because we didn't know where the game was going to be played. Okay. So let's see. All right. So that's it. So I've given Cleveland. All right. So far I've given Atlanta, Philly under, Seattle, Baltimore under, Baltimore -1, Cleveland, Yankees under, Cleveland first 5 innings money line and Cleveland +1, and the Yankees first 5 innings team total under. The Boston-Toronto game had a pitching change to Brian Anderson, and that one I'm going to have to look into. I was definitely leaning towards the over when Kohler was starting. Chris Sale, as we have seen in years past, has had a tendency to fade in the second half of seasons, and that might be happening this year. His last start, where his struggles in his last start were a little bit inexplicable and slightly unforgivable. Of course, it wouldn't be a shock if he comes in here and throws 9 shutout innings and then gives 5 straight games where he gives up 1 run in those games and it's absolutely lights out. But definitely concerning how Sale has done recently, especially in light of his historical fades in the second half. So that's a game that I'm going to have to look at Anderson a little bit deeper into, but definitely Chris Sale makes me nervous, and definitely makes me nervous as a road favorite in the 230s where it is right now. Then we have the Mets-Cincinnati game, which is Flexen against Romano. And Flexen is obviously a guy who's been struggling. Romano, also a guy who's been struggling a bit, but found his groove a bit recently. And so I would be tempted to bet on Cincinnati to hit Flexen here. And again, this is a spot where I want to take Cincinnati, but the line is a little high. It's in the -150s. But my leans here are definitely to the Cincinnati first 5 innings team total over and Cincinnati -1. Those are leans right now. I might revisit that in a second and make those picks. Then the Texas-Houston game, Perez against Fires. You know what? I'll throw it on there. It's a high-ass total. Under 10, -120. Damn, that's a high total. Bookmaker DSI. The Greek, all the sharp books have them out already. Pinnacle does not have the line out yet, and 5 Dimes, Intertops, U-Wager have not hung that line yet, but Bookmaker and BetOnline and the Greek do have it out, and I will give that one under 10, -120, Texas and Houston. Then the St. Louis-Milwaukee game, for some reason, didn't have an overnight line, but it's Luke Weaver against Matt Garza. Obviously, a major starting pitching edge there for St. Louis. Luke Weaver coming off of a great start, and he is probably going to continue to be good for the rest of the season unless he wears down, which I don't anticipate happening. Matt Garza, of course, mediocre at best, and most of the time very vulnerable. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into why there was no overnight line. There might be someone out for St. Louis. Maybe some of the commenters. Let's see. Mike Keith, yes, says Pete. That Houston under 10 is at Tropicana Field, Pitchers Park. I think that's too easy. Yeah, Mike Keith, listen, I was surprised when I saw that total. I haven't even done my deep research on that game, but I'm definitely giving the under 10 on that one as a pick. I like it. Okay. So the St. Louis-Milwaukee game, if someone can hey, Zach Jones, you have the computer there, right?
Yep.
Can you find out if someone's out or injured for St. Louis?
Yeah, give me a second. Keep going. I'll let you know.
All right.
For St. Louis. Okay.
For St. Louis, because there was no overnight line, and it was not because of the starting pitching change. So I'm assuming that there was a player who was injured, but I'm not sure exactly who it was. Or who it is. If someone can comment on that, let's see if there are any.
You've got Thornburg out with the shoulder, Bandy out with rib injury. That's all I'm seeing right now, both from Milwaukee.
I don't understand. Okay.
Let me do some research.
Well, there we go. Sometimes the lines don't make sense, and you do your deep research, and there's nothing to be found, and you're just like, all right, it's just a good bet, and then you bet it, and it wins, and you're like, well, I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm glad that they offered it, glad I bet it, and I'm glad I cashed, and that's what I'm doing right now. St. Louis on the first 5 innings with Luke Weaver starting. Again, I'll take a 5 Dimes line. St. Louis first 5 innings money line -107. Weaver against Garza, big starting pitching edge there for St. Louis. And Milwaukee, of course, slumped out offensively in a major way for like the last month or so. Now they could pick it up at any time, especially at home. And I'm always sort of expecting Milwaukee to pick it up offensively, but I think it's not likely to come in this one. And St. Louis has been productive, so I'm on St. Louis. There's another pick -107. -107. Drew Martin says overs all day. Overs all day. Really? I'm like an unders.
I was going to say, you're all over the unders.
I'm on unders all day, baby. Unders all day.
Lay off the Red Bull. Lay off the Red Bull.
Yes. Then we have the Pittsburgh and Cubs game, Cool against Arrieta. Arrieta has been very, 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 very reliable recently, giving you 6 solid innings every start out. The Cubs are just a little bit too high of a favorite here at -210. Cubs are also one of the bottom 3 teams in baseball in terms of home ROI. They've been way overvalued at home. And Cool is a big, question mark. He either, has a start where he gives up 5 walks or 1 walk. And when he gives up 1 walk, he gives you 5 or 6 great innings. When he gives up 5 walks, he's very vulnerable. His last start, he gave up 5 walks, and what do we expect from him here? Tough to say, really tough to say. So I guess I'm going to have to pass on that one. Then the White Sox-Minnesota game is interesting. James Shields has actually been pretty decent recently, so it's tough. It's tough to want to take Minnesota as that big of a favorite, but it's tough to take the White Sox in any capacity right now. So I'm going to pass on that one. And Tampa Bay and KC, I got a push on the second half under with that one yesterday, and I think I'm liking the under in this one again. Zachy Ice, here's a trivia question for you. In the last 4 games total, how many runs has the Kansas City Royals scored? Trivia question. In the last 4 games total.
I'm looking for the chat box to help me out. There's a small delay. What is it?
The correct answer is 0.
0. Okay.
Total.
Well, I'm not surprised. Wow.
Yes. And if you're thinking that sounds like some kind of major league record, I believe it is. Something like that. I was
still liking the overs there, Drew Martin.
Yeah. 0 runs in 4 games. Wow. That is like that is not acceptable. You are major league athletes here. You guys are professional athletes, and goddamn it, there's got to be a sense of pride when you go out there on the field, right? Score at least 1 run. Can they? I think they can. But we have a total here of 9.5. At least that's what it was on the overnight when I bet it. And yes, it's still not. God, I don't understand it. I really don't understand this Tampa Bay KC line because total yesterday was 10 with 2 very, very vulnerable starting pitchers. Now we got 9.5 with 2 starting pitchers who have been excellent, actually. Cobb came back from his injury. He only threw 4 or 5 innings, but the Rays have a good bullpen, and Cobb was great in his first start back. And Junis is a starting pitcher who his last start was great. When he's on, he's close to lights out when the slider is working. His last start was great. He didn't run up a high pitch count. So I don't understand this one at all. Again, but this is another line that I'm not getting, and another line I'm going to give as a pick officially. I'm giving it under 9.5 in Tampa Bay KC. I'm going to give under 9.5, and that will be. I won't give the 5 dimes line here because 5 dimes is offering minus. Well, why? I should give it. Why not? Right? I should give myself the best line.
That's the way it goes.
The reason I don't like to use 5 dimes lines is because, they're obviously a great book, but if you start to beat them for like 5 figures, then they'll boot you as many rec books do, which is their right. So I like to use books that have where you can beat them for a good amount and they won't boot you.
You spread the love. You kill them equally.
Yeah, right. 5 dimes is definitely a great book for as long as they let you play there. So
but when you're as sharp as Pete, you have to fly under the radar.
Yes. You can't. All right, let me see. All right, I'll just give minus 113. I'll give the Pinnacle line. If Pinnacle's offering minus 113, I'll just give that one for now. What the hell? Under 9.5, minus 113, Tampa Bay and KC. Not understanding that line. And the first 5 innings might be a decent play as well on the under. It's 5, just not getting it. Just not getting that line. But for now, I'll just stick with the full game under. Then we have Detroit and Colorado. Fulmer against Marquez. And this is a spot where I'm kind of liking Colorado. Fulmer has been, of course, struggling in the second half of the year, and he's been having some elbow issues that cropped up in his last start, but he pitched through it. The trainer examined him, but when that happens, when a pitcher has some sort of discomfort in his elbow, and the trainer examines him and then says you're okay, and they throw him back out there again, 90% of the time he's not okay, and he's going to be hurting in his next start again, and he's probably going to have his mechanics off and his velocity reduced and all kinds of problems. So I'm definitely liking Colorado here. Marquez is no great shakes either, though, but he does know how to do well in Colorado. So that's a lean at Colorado minus 1. If Marquez was a little bit more reliable here, I would probably give Colorado. It's just that Marquez might get hit as much as Fulmer, and I don't want to take the over. I was thinking about the first 5 innings over, but the weather is a little bit, it's only 6. That's a tough one. I'll have to revisit that in a second. Then there is one game that I'm staying way the hell off of, and that is the Dodgers and Arizona game. It's okay. Rich Hill's next start. You know what happened to Rich Hill's last start, Zachy Ice, right? He had a perfect game in the 9th inning, and then had a no-hitter in the 10th, and wound up taking the L. All sorts of wacky stuff going on in baseball these days, Zachy Ice. So this is Rich Hill's next start. How does he bounce back? Now, Arizona struggles against lefties. Anytime a guy throws, that anytime a guy throws a no-hitter, the conventional wisdom is you want to look to fade him in his last start, which is not always the smart move. This year, when Edinson Volquez threw his no-hitter, he had a bunch of good starts in a row after that one. So Hill could have a good start here, and Arizona does struggle against lefties. Also, he could also have a letdown here. He is 37 years old. And then Godley has been regressing. And then the Dodgers are coming off of losing 2 of 3 at home against Milwaukee. So that's a game I'm just staying the hell off of. Maybe have a lean to the under at 9. But even that one I don't necessarily like, because I wouldn't be surprised if Hill gives up 5 runs here and Godley gives up a bunch of runs. So that's a game that I am staying off of. And the next one we have is Oakland and the Angels, and Oakland has this guy Smith starting once again, and he's been cashing for us every start out. We've been fading him. He's one of these mid-30s rookies who, guy with not much MLB experience who doesn't really have the stuff to be in the majors, but he's in the rotation right now, and so we've been fading him on the first 5 innings, team total overs pretty successfully, start in and start out. And let's see what that would be. The line here for they don't have it. It's not up yet. The first 5 innings team total over is not up yet. All right. Well, the full game over is 5. So I'm assuming that I guess that would be 3. If not, then 2.5 at a big favorite line. So that is definitely very tempting. And then on the other side, Scribner is no great shakes either. So I was definitely thinking about the first 5. Whoa. First 5 innings is just 5. Another pick. Drew Martin, here's an over for you. First 5 innings over. Oakland and the LA Angels, Smith and Scribner. One of those guys is very, very likely to get hit hard. Probably both of them get hit. Over 5 -120. We got that at Heritage, at Brookmaker, at BetDSI. Over 5 -120. That's a damn nice bet there. Oakland against the Angels. That's a good bet, Zachy Ice.
You think so? No, I'm just saying. I mean, I know Oakland's defense and their, the Angels' offense is horrible, but Oakland's defense is equally as bad.
Oakland's defense is horrific, yes, but it's mostly just both of these starting pitchers are very, 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 very hittable. Smith has been a guy that we've been fading, start in and start out, and Scribner's a guy who had okay but not great minor league numbers, and then came up to the majors, had the results you would exactly expect from him, subpar. And so both of these guys are very, very vulnerable. Wow, that might be that might even qualify. That does qualify. That's a low-hanging fruit play right there. Smith and Scribner. Oakland and the Angels. First 5 innings, over 5 -120. That's a low-hanging fruit play right there. That is LHF right there. LHMF, MF. Right. Low-hanging fruit. And then the San Francisco-San Diego game is also an interesting one. Moore against Perdomo. Moore has actually suddenly, kind of out of nowhere, had 3 very good starts in a row. And I'm going to have to look deep into his peripherals to try to figure out what's happened there, because Matt Moore was a borderline auto fade, as we know, especially on the road most of this year. And then all of a sudden, last 3 starts, he's gotten good results. His strikeouts have been up. So I'm going to have to look at his velocity numbers, his location numbers, his swing and strike numbers, all that stuff to figure out what the hell is going on with Matt Moore, because I was not surprised. I was not expecting that. Not expecting Moore to make that kind of a late season turn, but he definitely did it. And kudos to him. I cashed with San Francisco in the first 5 innings yesterday. There was a poster who said he didn't like that pick, but I knew what I was seeing. And in this one, I would be leaning San Francisco again, but I'm not a believer in Moore, so I'm going to have to look into that a lot deeper before I actually pull the trigger on that one. But it's definitely been impressive what Moore has done. All right, we'll get to some comments in a second. Let's review all the picks that I have given and all the leans.
Is there a single over on your ticket today?
Yes. Low-hanging fruit. LHMF.
Aside from that, I just know you had tons of unders.
Aside from that one, is there a single over? No, there is a lean. I'm leaning Cincinnati team total over, and first 5 innings team total over to hit Flexen. Other than that, no. But the LHMFF is first 5 innings over with Oakland and the LA Angels. Yeah, most definitely. All right. I'm psyched as hell for this card. And you know what? I'm gonna go and right after this call, I'm gonna parlay the hell out of a bunch of these. I might come back here with tomorrow morning with like $400 in my pocket from all this shit. This is great. This is awesome. Yeah, I mean, if we parlay all this shit together. All right, let's see. All right, so let's recap the card, and then we'll get to some comments and questions. Okay, Atlanta Philly under is a pick. Seattle Baltimore under is a pick. Baltimore -1 is a pick. Cleveland Yankees under is a pick. Yankees first 5 innings team total under is a pick. Cleveland, first 5 innings, money line is a pick. Cleveland +1 is a pick. The Mets-Cincinnati game, I'll make a decision on later. I'm definitely leaning Cincinnati -1 and definitely leaning Cincinnati first 5 innings, team total over. Texas-Houston under is a pick. St. Louis, first 5 innings is a pick. Tampa Bay KC under is a pick. Again, the Detroit-Colorado game, leaning first 5 innings over, leaning second half under, leaning Colorado -1, but I have to decide what to do. Oakland and the Angels, first 5 innings over is a pick, and that counts as low-hanging fruit of the day. So that's 11 picks so far, and a few other leans that I'm liking quite a bit that I'm just thinking about how I want to handle it. 11 picks so far, and I might have a few more. Again, 7 or 8 of those might get rained out, but we'll see how it all turns out. All right, so now we go to check some comments here. We will ignore any fighting, and we will ignore any vulgarity that are in any comments. I'm looking for comments on.
You get Vitalis saying that he auto-faded Matt Moore today just because he had a few good starts. Don't mean nothing. A broken clock usually is right twice a day.
Who said that?
Vitalis.
Vitalis, yeah. He said a few good starts. He said one good start don't mean nothing.
A few good starts.
Yeah. I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day or whatever, but Matt Moore's been right 3 times in a row with good peripherals. Look, I understand. Look, Matt Moore was a borderline auto fade, and I think maybe he was on the road an auto fade for me earlier this year, but his results have definitely been eye-popping. San Diego is not hitting right now, and Perdomo on the other side has been very, very vulnerable. So even if Moore is – I was thinking about the over in this one, actually. Problem is just both these teams have been so bad offensively. But I was actually thinking about the over, which is kind of a fade of Moore, or even maybe the first 5 innings over, which is 4.5. And the over, I saw it was 8 or, yeah, it's like 8 or 8.5. I might give the over before this show is out on that one. I was leaning over. It's just that Perdomo has not been getting it done. The San Diego lineup has not been getting it done. So even if Moore does regress back to being an auto fade, you still might cash as an underdog. I'm telling you, man. People said I was nuts for taking San Francisco on the first 5 innings yesterday. Well, who's laughing now? Me. I'm laughing now.
We got Kobe Valentine talking about the St. Louis game. Says that he likes St. Louis today. Weaver's been pitching well. Line movement, yes, heavily moving towards St. Louis.
Kobe Valentine, can you answer? Because there was no overnight line for that one, but there was no pitching change. So I'm assuming there was some kind of injury issue with some important player on either team. Kobe Valentine, do you know what injury issue that was and if that player is out or not? Because A, I don't understand why the line is so low, and B, I don't understand why there was no overnight line because there was no pitching change. So if you can answer either of those questions or both of them, we would really appreciate it, Kobe Valentine, because I'm completely agreeing with you. St. Louis first 5 innings is a pick for me, no doubt, no question about that one.
See, that almost seems too obvious.
Yes. And sometimes, when
Garza did look good last time out, but he's been rough.
He looked less shitty last time out, but
better than he has.
Yeah. He hasn't looked good since like 2013 or whatever.
7.61 ERA in August.
Oh, Garza. He's not an auto fade, but he's like an auto look against every time. I'm not automatically pressing bet against him every time, but I'm automatically looking hard against him every time out. He can be serviceable. There's certain situations where if he gives you 5 innings and 3 runs, that'll be good enough for you. But in this spot against Weaver with the St. Louis bats and the way Milwaukee's been hitting for the past 30 days, no way. It does look a little bit too easy, and I don't. It confuses me a little bit. And anytime you see a line that you don't fully understand, it definitely behooves you in sports betting to try to find out why that line is where it is, because there's a chance that you just have a big edge. There's also a chance that's just something you're not aware of and you're on the wrong side of it. But in this case, I think that, much like the Baltimore game yesterday where the line went down to 10, there was nothing we weren't aware of. It was just a wrong move. We bet it. We cashed. And that's how I feel about St. Louis here. All right, I'm going to look for some other, let's see. Jensen Bonzone says, Pete, Sale dominates Jays, apparently 15 scoreless innings. Sure. I'm going to have to look into that one more deeply. I'm going to look at Brian Anderson. But again, Sale has been fading recently. He does have a history of fading in the second half, and he's a -230 favorite. So I'll tell you right now, there's no way in hell I'm going to be on Boston here. And I might be on Toronto, might be on the over 8, or, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to take it. I'm going to bet it, if anything, if at all. But Chris Sale has been fading, and he does have a history of fading in the second half. So it makes me nervous. Okay. All right, let's see. Darryl Lyle says, Pete, what's up? How about the Reds? Yeah, I like the Reds. It's just that they're up in the minus 150s, and Sal Romano is, he strung together a couple of more impressive starts, but he's still, a youngster who we would expect major inconsistency from. And when Romano's off, he gets hit. Yes, I like Cincinnati here, and Cincinnati -1, and the Cincinnati first 5 innings team total over are definitely leans. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for other.
James. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mal asking for low-hanging fruits. There is one today, and that is the first 5 innings over 5 in Oakland LA Angels. If Smith and Scribner combine to hold these guys to 4 runs or less, congratulations. Take my my 1.2 units of loss, and I'm happy I made the bet anyway. But I think that's a good bet. Oakland and the Angels, first 5 innings, over 5, -120 is the low-hanging fruit of the day. Yes. All right, let's see. What were you going to see?
No, somebody was pointing out that the Dodgers game, that line just seems awfully low.
Well, I mean, the Dodgers game I'm completely staying off of. I guess it does seem low. But, here's the other part of that is that Arizona is the top team in baseball in terms of home ROI. Number 1 in baseball in terms of home ROI. They're plus 16% ROI at home. A great team at home. And I think their lineup has been underachieving a little bit. And Godley is a serviceable starting pitcher. And before Hill had his no-hitter, he was good, but he wasn't, lights out. He had a starts where he would go 5 innings and give up 3 runs, 6 innings and give up 3 runs. So I think the line is right on. If anything,
and they're on a little streak too.
I'm sorry, what?
And they're on a small streak. They've got 6 wins in their last 7.
Who?
The Dodgers. I'm sorry, the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, but no, and the Diamondbacks I think have also been underachieving a little bit considering their lineup. And again, the number 1 team in MLB in terms of home ROI. Number 1, their home ROI is better than the Dodgers' road ROI. The only issue is that Arizona also struggles big time against lefties. Now tomorrow, as I mentioned in my series preview show, I'm definitely going to be looking to a bet on the Dodgers tomorrow against Ryu, going up against Ray, and I think that Ray is probably in for a subpar start. Ryu should be good, and hopefully we won't get a big. Hopefully we'll get a line, close to where this line is today. So I'm definitely going to be leaning the Dodgers tomorrow. The line does seem a little bit low, but it's just Hill off of that start. You don't really know what you're going to get here. I don't like fading Arizona at home, so I'm staying off of it. I think the line is actually probably pretty close to being on. All right, let's see other comments. I'm looking for comments for insights into some of these games. Let's see. Yeah, Kobe Valentine liking St. Louis today. There's the Kobe Valentine. Everyone.
James Stacy wanting a quick recap on your Cubs pick. He missed part of it.
The Cubs pick. Yeah, I don't have a pick on the Cubs because, Arrieta, very, very, very reliable. But as I said, the Cubs -210, one of the most overvalued teams at home. I think in terms of home ROI, the Mets are last. I think Cleveland is second worst, and then third worst in MLB is the Cubs. I could check my spreadsheet here, but the Cubs are like right around -14% ROI at home. Just a very overvalued team at home. And the big uncertainty here is Cool. Cool is sometimes on and sometimes off. When his control is under control, if Cool comes in here and has no control issues and only walks 1 batter, he will match Arrieta, inning for inning, and they'll both probably give you, 6 innings, 1 or 2 runs, and then you go into the second half as a big favorite with the Cubs, and you've got a tie game, and that's not a position you want to be in. So that game I'm staying off of. There's probably high volatility here involved because of Cool. So if I was going to take the Cubs, I would definitely take them on the run line, and if I was going to take up Pittsburgh, I might even take a shot with the alternative run line. But that game I'm just staying off of. It's a low total. I might, by first pitch, and when the lineups are announced, have a different opinion on that one. But as of right now, I can't do it. The only if I had to recommend a bet right now, I would maybe take a shot with the Pirates first 5 innings team total under, because Arrieta has been so reliable and so consistent, and so I can't find that. Damn it, where is that? Pinnacle only has half their first 5 inning team totals, but let's see what the full game is. Yeah, so the Pittsburgh full game under, team total under is 3.5 minus 138. That's low, so probably the first 5 innings would be under 1.5. So that's cutting a little bit close. But if I had to recommend a pick, that might be it, because Arrieta, again, has been so reliable. He's going to give you a quality 6 innings here, almost guaranteed. So that might be a pick. But that's my breakdown of that game. Uncertainty with Cool, and as always, just the Cubs just too big of a favorite at home. Been that way the whole year. Actually, it's been that way pretty much the whole century. The Cubs have been perennially overvalued, and especially at home. Basically, since I started sports, since I got involved with sports betting.
As you say that, your favorite, Don Marino Tomor, putting out that, hey, he likes the Cubs minus 1.5 today, because they have been solid at home. These young Pirates pitchers struggle on the road. Cubs seem to play best when Milwaukee, St. Louis threaten the division.
Okay, well, I don't know what he means by solid at home, because against the spread, against their money lines, they've been overvalued. They're one of the worst teams so far this year overall on the year at home. They have been picking it up a little bit recently, and I definitely like them on the 1.5 line more than on the money line. But that game, and also the wind's blowing in a little bit. It's a low total. I'm staying off that one, Tom Marino Tomor. I'm staying off it. I'm out. I'm not on that game. I got 15 picks today. I don't need to throw on a 16th. You know what I mean? Maybe if I had one pick and I needed a second one, I would add on. I would tail Tom Marino Tomor blindly and add on the Cubs. But all right. So Kobe Valentine saying tough card today. I don't know, Kobe Valentine. I'm seeing tons of picks, tons and tons and tons of picks. All right. Let's see. Just quickly going for other comments in case anyone, Willard Jones, any low hanging fruit? Yes, there is low hanging fruit. Zachy Eyes, do you know how well the low-hanging fruits have done this year? Even through my losing stretches, low-hanging fruits have still been mostly winning.
We need to get a scoreboard.
Yeah,
an official light-up scoreboard to put behind you.
The problem is in my spreadsheets, I just haven't been indicating which ones were the low-hanging fruits. Although I kind of remember which ones they were. I'd have to watch back all the videos. But the low-hanging fruit overalls have been great. Although the last one did lose, it was a fade of Derek Holland. And watch out for tomorrow's show, because Holland is making his next start against Minnesota for the second time in a row. And I think I might go back to that well, even though it was poisoned the first time I went to it. Last low-hanging fruit was a fade of Derek Holland, and it did lose. But that was the first loss in a while, and it'll be interesting to see what the lines are tomorrow, because I think I'm going to be on Minnesota once again, low-hanging fruit against Derek Holland. All right.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we've had, for most teams, this is week 1 college football. Those lines have been out for quite a while. Mm-hmm. Anything you're looking at, or is that something you're gonna, to share later?
Oh, that's something I'll get into. I mean, for the Thursday games, yes, there's one pick that I bet as soon as it came out. Bam! I took the over in the Oklahoma State Tulsa game. I got it at 71. Last I checked, it was 74, and it might be climbing even higher. And I discussed why. Oklahoma State is a team that is going to be questionable on defense this year, but will probably have the best passing game in the nation, or at least one of the top 5 passing games in the nation. I mean, they're just loaded at receiver.
What did you grab that at?
What
line did you get?
71.
Okay.
At Heritage. And it's now, last time I checked, was 74. And Tulsa, of course, we know the deal with them. Tulsa's not going to be able to stop Oklahoma State here, and Tulsa will probably put up their points here. So
I'm seeing it's dropped. This is 69 in most places now.
What is?
The total.
Are you shitting me? Are you serious? Is this
Tulsa,
a prank?
Oklahoma State? No.
Oklahoma State, Tulsa?
Yes.
God damn.
18-point spread. Total sitting at 69. Pretty much across the board. Bodog still has it at 70.
Jesus
the Greek
Christ.
thing at 69.5.
All right.
But yeah, that one opened up at 45.
No, it didn't.
According to that's what I'm seeing right now.
It didn't open at 45.
I'm looking at it right now.
No, it definitely didn't open at 45. But yeah, all right. Hey, I might be wrong on that one. I thought I had, and it was definitely 74 a day or two ago when I checked it. It's entirely possible that it could have gotten back down. Maybe some guys are out. Maybe there's some weather issues. I will look into that. I will look into that more. I haven't been looking at the Thursday games, although I'm going to get do a deep dive into the Thursday games today. I'm planning on that. Let me quickly check this shit here. Just going to quickly check the line movement on this.
I see that you're right. It did move up to 74 at some point in time. Then it was bet back down.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
So, yes, it opened quite low. It jumped up.
Wow, I got it at 71. It jumped to 74, and now it's all the way down to 69. You're right. All right. Well,
I wouldn't dig it like that, Pete.
I kept my eye off that one, but
I wouldn't punk you on the air.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that one. I'm going to have to look into what the F is up with that one because.
And it's showing that it opened at 45.
No, it didn't open at 45.
Okay, that's what the opener says.
that
opener could have come out a long time ago.
We got no. We got it. It was never 45. We got to go to the programmers and make some heads roll.
Let's do it.
Making that. Yeah, no, it was never 45. That's guaranteed. But yeah, all right. That's interesting. The line has moved way down. I'm going to look into why that might have been. All right, so I'm on the wrong side of that move. All right. Well, thankfully, I'm having a winning year in baseball, and who knows? Maybe it'll cash anyway. We'll see where it closes. All right. This show has gone on for a very, very long time. Looking for just any comments. P. Dizzle asking St. Louis tonight. That's questionable tonight. Yeah. Look, I'm liking St. Louis. I don't know why the line is so low, but I'm on them just on the first 5. Okay. All right. Okay, too many comments. The show has been going on for almost an hour.
I think 14 picks is sufficient.
Yeah. All right. So let me just Big Man on Campus. I put a big bet in on the under. Sorry, Peter. We haven't talked about that name. Big Man, do you have an actual opinion on that game? Do you actually like the under on that one? Because I would really like to know. All right. Tomor also says St. Louis's bullpen has really struggled. First 5, I think, is the way to go. Yes, I'm on that one for sure. All right. So let me just review the card, review my official picks, and make a final decision on some of these leans. Philly and Atlanta. Under is a definite pick there. Philly and Atlanta under 9. Let me just quickly check the second half here. Philly and Atlanta. Ooh, that's tempting to take under 3. That's tempting to take under 3.5 at minus 115. Let me just quickly because I'll take all. You got to grab all the units while they're there. Oof, man, Jesus. All right, yes, I will add that one on as well. Philly and Atlanta second half under 3.5 minus 115. I'm on the second half under on that one, and I'm on the under 9. On that one. Miami, Washington, no opinion yet, but if I have a pick, I will tweet it out. Seattle, Baltimore, again, I'm on Baltimore minus 1, and I'm on Seattle, Baltimore under at 9.5. And the Yankees, Cleveland game, I'm on Cleveland first 5 money line, Cleveland +1, Cleveland Yankees under, and the Yankees first 5 innings team total under 2. I'm on that one 4 ways. Boston, Toronto, we'll check later. Cincinnati and the Mets. Yeah, I kind of do like Cincinnati here. And yes, I will throw on Cincinnati -1. I won't take the first 5 innings over 3 on Cincinnati. I'll just take them -1. Hopefully they'll hit them. -147 is the money line at 5 dimes. And the run line part of that will be plus 135, also at 5 dimes. That's just a small favorite line for Cincinnati. Texas and Houston under 10. I'm on that one. St. Louis, first 5 innings. I'm on that one. Pitt and the Cubs, I'm passing on that one. White Sox game passing. Tampa Bay, KC under 9.5. I am definitely on that one. There's probably some other unders on that one that are good, but just to hold on that one. Detroit and Colorado. That game I'm going to hold off on for now. Colorado -1, definitely a lean. Dodgers, Arizona, I'm off of it. Oakland and the Angels, first 5 innings over 5, -120 is low-hanging fruit. And San Francisco and San Diego, the over 8 is definitely a lean, but I will hold off on that one as a pick for now. And that's it. That wraps up the show. We'll see how many of these games get rained out. We'll see how many of these picks wind up cashing. Hopefully, I'll come back tomorrow with a big day and check in tomorrow for the Wednesday card where we will be analyzing Derek Collins' next start against Minnesota. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.